Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does without me lifting a finger, so I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Welcome to the Dulce Candy podcast, your go-to destination for self-love, high vibe, living, and personal development. I am Dulce Candy, your host, war veteran, published author, meditation teacher, and content creator, here to guide you on a journey of transformation and growth. Through enlightening conversations, practical strategies, and inspiring stories, we'll delve into mindfulness, spirituality, and the art of living a high vibe life. Each week, we'll explore the tools to manifest love, abundance, and positivity in all aspects of life. So sit back, tune in, and get ready to elevate your soul as we embark on this beautiful and transformative journey together. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode. I am so happy to be connecting with you. Today's episode is a very meaningful and special episode. I had the privilege of interviewing Emily Keith, who is the executive director of the Pavlov Foundation, and we talk about the healing power of the arts. Now, a little bit about Emily. She grew up in a very artistic household. Her father is a professional painter and her mom is a designer. And from a very early age, she witnessed the healing power that the arts can have. And this really deepened her passion to share creative arts with those in need and better their well-being through various mediums, whether it be dance, music, photography. Her trajectory has led her from an artist herself to becoming the leader of a national pediatric cancer nonprofit. Now, some pretty shocking things that I discovered after today's conversation is that from all of the money that gets allotted for cancer research, only 4% of it goes to pediatric cancer research. And about 17,000 children get diagnosed with this illness. So we're going to talk a lot about the healing power of the arts, how you can get involved with helping raise more awareness and more funds for childhood cancer and really give back to our beautiful children who I truly believe should not have to go through something so challenging in their lives. Don't forget to rate the podcast on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Sign up for our newsletter down below. And it's really just going to help our podcast show continue to grow. So make sure you rate it 5 stars and you leave a review on Apple Podcast. Thank you all so much for supporting the show. And now let's welcome Emily.
Hello.
Hi, Emily. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am so excited to speak with you about two of my favorite things in the world, which is children and art, creative expression. So thank you for making time to be with us today.
Absolutely. It's an honor to be here and to meet you. And you've been such an incredible support to our foundation. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm really honored just to be a part of this journey in any way that I can. So I was really looking forward to talking to you about your journey and art and how we can use it to heal ourselves and really express our authenticity. So if you could begin by just sharing a little bit about you and how you got started and how you ended up where you are today.
I'd love to. Yeah. I actually have had a really interesting journey, but I grew up in a very artistic home, and my father's a professional artist. And so grew up very early on understanding the healing arts, and what that kind of how that impacts us, impacts our mental health, our physical, emotional. And I was very artistic myself. I was in drama, uh, acting, music, dancing, all of the above. Tried to make it as a Hollywood actress, moved to Los Angeles, but I found really early on, honestly, that I fell in love with the nonprofit world. And so I started volunteering and discovered that I wanted to give back. And I loved using my skills in a really creative, different way, and working with people who were in incredibly difficult situations. And so that's what brought me to the Pop Love Foundation. I've actually been in the nonprofit world for over 20 years now, working in healthcare, working in mental health, working in education. And so when the opportunity to become the executive director of the Pop Love Foundation came about, I just knew it was the right fit. I was absolutely drawn to this, the way that the Pop Love Foundation marries the arts and the science together. I was so intrigued by that. And so I'll tell you a little bit about what we do. So we are a national pediatric cancer organization, and we are named after a little boy named Pablo. And Pablo lost his life at 6 years old to a rare cancer, a rare kidney cancer. And so his parents founded this organization to bring awareness to pediatric cancer and to raise funds for better treatments and for research and eventually to find a cure. And then they also really wanted to improve the quality of life for kids living with cancer and find a way to give them a joy and an outlet. And so that's exactly what we do at the Pop Love Foundation. We teach healing arts photography classes to kids with cancer, while at the same time, we are investing in research to find their cures. So it's a really special place. And we get to see firsthand how the arts impact children and their healing journey.
Hey, Fidelity, how can I remember to invest every month?
With the Fidelity app, you can choose a schedule and set up recurring investments in stocks and ETFs.
Oh, that sounds easier than I thought.
You got this.
Yeah, I do. Now, where did I put my keys?
You will find them where you left them.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Pepsid Complete knows that food is one of the best parts of game day. That is, until heartburn strikes. Thankfully, just one chewable tablet of Pepsid Complete provides dual-action heartburn relief with an antacid that starts working instantly and an acid reducer that lasts all day. So you can stay focused on that second helping of chili without worrying about heartburn. All day based on 8-hour symptom relief studies during the day. Use product only as directed.
Was there a specific moment that you saw how impactful art can be for the human spirit, mind, body, and soul?
Oh my goodness. There have been so many specific moments. Yeah. I mean, at Shutterbugs, we've had students come in who, they've been through some really traumatic situations. I mean, some of these kids are honestly in the fight of their lives, right? And they've been really closed, distant, angry, maybe not even wanting to be there or take our class. And through the lens of the camera, they've found their creative voice. They've been able to find something to be grateful for and something that brings them joy and makes them laugh and smile. And so we've actually seen complete transformations in our students, which has been really, really beautiful. And personally, I just want to share that I discovered this really early on too, way before I understood the science behind it. My dad had his art studio in the upstairs of our house. And so I would go up there regularly and just watch him. I would just watch him create his art. And he was a painter and a sculptor and a photographer. And I remember so distinctly that he would turn his photographs into slides and he would put them in a slide projector and project them up on the wall. And we would sit there together and he would just go through the composition, the lighting, the focus, what inspired him to take that photograph. And collectively, we would decide which photograph he was going to turn into a painting. And that was such a fun experience for me as a kid. And it brought me so much joy to have input into this process. But what I didn't realize, right, which is what I know now from studying this, is that just simply observing art boosts serotonin and actually increases blood flow in the brain. So it's fascinating. I mean, that's why just that process alone, was so therapeutic for me, really.
Well, I mean, when I go I'm in my late 30s and I love going to museums, which is a new thing that I never really appreciated. And I found so much inner peace. And like you said, I feel like just this level of happiness just from observing and trying to analyze a painting and having my own story and making up my own fantasy. And I find it to be also like a very mindful practice as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. That actually reminds me, we do a lot of our in-person classes with our students. We call our program Shutterbugs. So that's what our photography class is for our kids. And so you'll hear me mention our Shutterbugs. But we teach at the Huntington Gardens and Museum, the Botanical Gardens in Pasadena, California. So it's gorgeous. You just walk in and it's a peaceful place, right? But it's that we do scavenger hunts with the kids. And so they're exploring these gardens and they're taking photos of all these amazing things. And that's exactly what it does. Like it's meditative, it's joyful, it brings out this creativity in them. And it's really special. And they feel like little professional photographers at the same time, right? They're producing something that they can be proud of.
I love that. And I can just see how healing that can be for the human spirit, for the children, My dad is also going through a cancer battle and we're always outdoors, getting sunshine, being grounded. And that helps them out tremendously to be strong, to be able to fight for their lives.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly impactful.
It really is. There's so many studies too that show that participating in the arts reduces anxiety, it reduces stress, it reduces depression, it helps with memory, it helps with cognitive thinking. I mean, it's fascinating. The benefits are really endless.
What inspired you to make that transition from being an artist to being the executive director of Love Now?
Yeah.
And how was that transition for you?
Yeah, I think, I have 3 kids of my own and they're relatively healthy. We were just in the urgent care this morning for a potential MCL tear. But that's not cancer. That's what I keep reminding myself, right? Like the things that we're dealing with are so different. They're so easily curable. And so I really feel compelled. I feel like it's part of my responsibility to give back, to help these families who they didn't ask for this. They won the wrong side of the lottery, when it comes to cancer. And it's hard, but it actually breaks my heart. And so if I can be a part of something that gives back to them, that helps their family, find joy, for them to see their kids involved in something that's so meaningful and so purposeful, because the thought of, my kids being pulled from school, pulled from their after school, their sports and their art and their friends and being so immune compromised, it's devastating. It really is. So it's been a really meaningful process for me to be a part of Pop Love.
I also wanted to talk about creativity in general. My audience, primarily a lot of women who are creators, entrepreneurs, artists, designers. And I wanted to talk with your expertise on art. How would, because sometimes I see people online that I follow and I'm so inspired by their level of creativity and how they're able to always come out with these really unique things and share with the world that bring more beautiful things into our reality. So what advice would you have for people who are listening that really want to tap into their creativity and take it to the next level and really open up that?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. There's so many things. There's so many things that people can do to kind of tap into that creative element. I keep bringing it back to the Shutterbugs because they're so creative and we do so many amazing things in that program. But one thing that we do with them that anyone can do is creating collages. And I'm personally a huge fan of that too. In fact, my family at the first of every year, we create vision boards and I love that. And so just grabbing a stack of magazines, this is something anybody can do. And, finding words that you resonate, finding photos that you resonate, thinking of where you want to be, who you want to be, what are you drawn to, and then finding a creative way to put that into a piece of art, is really, really fun. And I feel like that's something that anybody can do. I'm also a huge fan of journaling. I think we have so many intrusive thoughts that just are battling our minds on a regular basis, and being able to get that out and get the negative out, especially, I use a journal a lot of times just sort of as a venting tool. And that helps center myself. It helps me get to a more peaceful place. We also talk to our Shutterbugs about that. In fact, they have journals, and on the first day, they decorate the journals with stickers and paint pens, and they write their names and do drawings. And sometimes we forget as adults, it's okay to do those kind of things. Like, these are just not activities for kids. But I always tell everyone, listen, before you go to bed, if you could just write down one thing that you're thankful for, one thing that brought you joy today, that is a very cathartic experience. It's a very peaceful, it's going to help your sleep. I promise you. It's going to help get out some other things. And honestly, you could be going through the most horrible situation in life, but there is always something to still be thankful for. And I think we need to remember that, and so having that discipline of a journal, I think, can be really healing and also really creative.
Would you say there's any other types of art forms that people can start to implement in their day-to-day routines? I know we can get really busy with the hustle, but how important is self-expression and art? And it doesn't have to be traditional like painting or what people really think of, but what can we do? And I know you shared some really wonderful things like journaling. I mean, that alone is self-expression, but art comes in many different forms, right? So what can we do on a day-to-day basis to help move through all of these challenges that come unexpectedly to us?
Yeah. Well, I love music and dance. So that's even more of my creative expression. And, it's funny. It started as a child. Whenever I'd have a bad day, I would go into my room, I would shut the door, I would turn on a song, and I would just dance. Yeah. And, it was just free flow dance to the music. And I had a song for everything. And I think people can relate to that, right? I had a sad song, I had a romantic song, I had a girl power song, a, kicking butt song, whatever it was, and it would get me out of that mood. After 2 or 3 songs, I'd feel like, hey, I am so much more grounded. I'm so much more peaceful. I'm ready to attack the rest of the day. And that was such an amazing sort of practice for me. Now, would I be mortified if someone opened the door and saw me? Probably, yeah. But sometimes I do that today. And I think, as adults, we have so many inhibitions. We're so embarrassed and feel like we shouldn't do that. But it's so funny. My husband found me in the backyard, dancing the other day. And I was like, I just needed that. That was me. That was my outlet. That's what I needed. And so, I just encourage people, don't worry about looking silly, find what it is. It could be movement. It could be music. I actually, I ended up just recently, I bought this pass from a dance studio, and it was a week-long pass. And so every single day after work, I took a different type of dance, which really challenged me So I took hip hop one day, I took salsa the other day, I took ballet, jazz, modern, and it was fabulous. I mean, some of those I was terrible and I got to laugh at myself and that was fun. But what a wonderful way to relieve stress, right? And express myself and discover things that maybe I'm good at and didn't realize.
And you don't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? I think that's important. Like, let perfection out the door and just allow your body to move in whatever weird way that it wants to move. Because like you said, as adults, we're expected to be, and especially, business women and high achieving women, like you're expected to be very professional at all times, very like put together and everything. And it's okay. I feel like creativity allows us to be wild,
It's so true. It's so true. It's so important. And everybody needs to find out what that is, what that is for them, because there is so much. I mean, there's literature, there's poetry, there's journaling, there's painting, sculpting. My daughter's actually taking a ceramics class right now, and she got it by default. It was not her first choice. And now she said, Mom, I had no idea, just like working with my hands in that way would be such a healing practice. And so she's really been enjoying that. So there's just so many possibilities.
Now, shifting gears a little bit about the significance about childhood cancer. And I'm going to ask you, what do you think people should know about it?
Oh my goodness, so much. Well, this is sort of shocking, but over 17,000 children are diagnosed with cancer every single year in the United States, which is just outrageous. And I think the thing that really upsets me the most, and what I didn't know until I started this job with Pavlov, is that 95% of childhood cancer survivors have long-term side effects from the cancer. So they may have survived the disease, right? But they have side effects from either the cancer or more likely from the toxic treatments that they've had. So I think that's something that needs to get out there. There's also very little funding for pediatric cancer, which that was another thing that's just really shocking to me. The federal government allots, quite a bit of money for cancer research, which is wonderful news, but only 4% of it actually is allotted for pediatric cancer, which it's just shocking, right? And so that's why companies like the Pavlov Foundation need to exist, because we believe that our kids are worth more than that. And we're trying to stand in that funding gap, to be able to make a difference for these kids. And we're seeing it, and we are making a difference. I mean, we've had a lot of our scientists have gone to clinical trials. We've actually provided incredible seed grants to kind of get their career launched. And then they've been noticed and recognized by huge institutions like NIH and have gotten $1 million grants to pursue and continue their research. So it is exciting. We are making a difference. It feels slow. And we still need to do the research, and we still need the funding and the support for sure.
You talk about the grants and how that works and how people can get involved and how their businesses can also get involved.
Absolutely. So we actually have businesses, we have families that can even fund their own family funded grant. So we allow anyone who wants to get involved in helping to fundraise. We have all the assets. We have a whole team that would help train you, and you could even choose the type of cancer. So we have a lot of families whose children, are affected by a very specific cancer. And so we can actually do some research looking for scientists and doctors who are specifically trying to find cures for that type of cancer or better treatment. So we can make it very, very personalized. Pavlov, like I said, we provide the seed grants. So basically, we are looking for sort of like young, brilliant scientists who have these novel ideas who wouldn't otherwise have the name or the exposure yet, but they have a really excellent idea that needs the money to be explored. And so we are on the front lines doing that. And so we actually have a very prestigious medical advisory board made up of the top oncology doctors from all over the country who sit on our advisory board. And they are the ones who accept our grants, who review our grants, and who ultimately help us choose which grants we are going to fund each year.
I also wanted to ask you what the month of September means to you.
Yeah, the month of September is huge, right? It's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, which is so critical. And we want to get awareness, just like I said. I mean, we want to get awareness out there that kids are suffering. And this is really serious, and there's so much that people can do. This is a wonderful month. If any of your listeners have ever thought about wanting to give back to pediatric cancer or help a child who's suffering or a family, this is the month. We have wonderful opportunities for volunteering. People can even join, in funding a grant. They could volunteer with Shutterbugs. We're always looking for professional photographers to volunteers. Even we do a lot of field trips. So we have partnerships with museums. We're going to be going to the Natural History Museum this year. We have art galleries that partner with us. So if there's people who live locally right now in Los Angeles, but also will be teaching nationally throughout the country, and we're looking for spots to hold our classes and to give our kids a new experience. So it's an important month. So we want to get that out there and let people know that we exist. We're doing good work, and we'd love to partner with you.
Oh my God. I'm going to put all that information down below because
okay.
I'm always looking for opportunities to volunteer, and I would love to be around children. I mean, I love children so much. And for anyone else that is interested, that is listening, I will put all those links down below for you guys to either start a grant with your business, for yourself, your family, or volunteer. I also wanted to talk about one last thing, and that is one of the ways that we're working together this month, and we're hosting a giveaway. And we're actually hosting a giveaway on Instagram for this gorgeous, beautiful ring made for this specific reason. And one winner is going to win it. It's, I believe, like $2,000. It's so gorgeous.
I think so. It is absolutely stunning.
Yeah. So all you got to do is follow Pavlov on Instagram. And also I have the designer who is August 1977. All the info is going to be down there. And Emily, I just wanted to ask if you have any final thoughts, any final things you would love my listeners to know about today's conversation.
You're so sweet. It's been such a privilege to be on your podcast. I think, join us, join the cause, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, go to our website if you feel compelled that you want to do something. There's so many opportunities to join this cause, to make a difference, and then do something that brings joy to your life. Do something that brings healing, incorporate art into your everyday life. And I really think that, you'll see a difference. We can learn a lot from these children that we work with. And
they're my biggest inspiration.
They're heroes, they're warriors. They've been through so much. They've overcome so much. And it really is an honor to be able to give them this outlet, and allow them to find their creative voice through these healing programs of the Pavlov Foundation. So
I also wanted to mention that you can actually purchase their prints, and 100% of the proceeds of their art is donated to research.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. How did I forget that? Thank you so much. That was a beautiful talking point. That's one of the best parts of our program, right? Is that they actually, become these amazing photographers, and we sell the prints. And so you can go on Pavlov Prints and you can purchase prints as well. That's a wonderful way to give back and to honor our students. Really, it gives them agency to do something where they're giving back to other kids with cancer. And, they've been robbed by so much, right, through this cancer journey. And so to be able to feel like, wow, I'm so proud of this. And this is art that people want to give, I want to buy. And in fact, that reminds me, I've got some Shutterbugs photos in my home office right now, and I actually try to change these out regularly because there's too many to choose from. They're all so wonderful.
Well, that's beautiful. I can't wait. And I'm also going to put the link to that below so you guys can get some new art filled with so much love, so much meaning, so much talent and creativity so you can have it displayed in your beautiful home, in your office. So thanks again, Emily, so much. God bless you always for everything that you're doing for our children. We appreciate you, the entire foundation, and everybody else that's a part of this.
Thank you so much, Dulce. I really appreciate being here. And actually, I have a gift for you. So I don't want to leave without, I don't know. I don't know. Can I share my screen? So our wonderful jeweler, August 1977, Sandy. Yeah. So she made something just for you.
Are you serious?
Yes. To thank you for having me on, for supporting the Blvd Foundation. Sandy's been involved in the Blvd Foundation for a really long time. She's donated jewelry to many of our different events, and she's so fabulous, and she loves you. And so she actually, I wonder if can I show this? Can I show this? I kind of want to show these gorgeous earrings. We are going to send these to you. They're beautiful. There's teardrop. They're pink. They look like the ring. They're so stunning. And then, because, our jeweler is over the top and she can't stop and she loves you so much. And she knows that you've been through a lot, especially with your dad. She made another piece of jewelry for you. And it's these orchids it's a matching set. It's a necklace and earrings, and they're actually real orchids that are covered in a hard resin. And the earring wire uses sterling silver, and the necklace is Czech glass beads, which she actually picked up in Prague herself. And this is terrible. I was hoping to share my screen, so it's really hard to see, but they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. So anyway, we are going to be sending that to you, and we just really appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you guys so much too. Thank you so much. I receive all the love, and I send you guys all the love too. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad. All right. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll definitely be in touch.
Well, thank you, Emily. I hope you have a beautiful day as well.